I just need to turn the light on.
There we are.
Recording in progress.
just as Tammy disappears off. Oh, that's better.
back.
We can almost see Tammy's face now. Steph
Lucky
isn't
you.
100%. So she is here beside me listening in. She's logged in with her phone. And
Okay.
Hi, Steph.
text.
I was just having a look. Was it yet?
Little
Steph
chat
McNamara
room.
changed her name. Yes.
Hi, Steph.
Hey, Steph.
She's
I see a hand.
not my hands, okay?
I see her.
Hi.
Just evidence, you know.
Yeah. I can only see Stephen, Kylie, and Adam. I don't see Kieran. Do
If
you
you
need to
swipe
move
up,
that
Swipe
along?
again.
Swipe
He's not
again.
Oh,
good
right,
camera.
that's the point. Disappeared. That's all right.
So you can swipe back and forward or choose just to see who's
Right. Aye, I see that. I can swipe, but that's fine. Okay, no worries, guys.
right. So Steph will join in through the chat if she wants to contribute. And right, so it's what it is tonight's meeting is about the party name. We'll find out what the proposed names are, if anyone has any. Then each person will get a short chance to quickly air their viewpoints. If anyone's got any questions, they can allow the person to speak first and then ask a couple of questions afterwards if you have to. Once everyone's had their say, we'll then have a vote. The vote will be by typing your preferred party names in order of preference and just type it into the chat.
How do I type?
What, just to you or for everybody to see?
For everyone to see.
So what, you're at a keyboard, aren't you, Stephen?
Aye, I've got a keyboard.
No, I'm just saying because it'll be easier for you to type. What I was going to suggest is once all the names have been suggested, just put them in a list. And then because if most people are on their phones, for them to then respond like in preferential order with a number. So if you number each of the names, so just go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then put each of the names next to it. I'm saying 5, there could be more, but and then we can just go 1, 3, 5, 4 or something like that. I don't know if that's easier. What do you think?
Possibly we can
just to save us typing each of them out in order. So it's typed out once and then we can all just put them in order. Does that make sense?
Aye. Well, it's just
I
for
think
the
you've
initial,
confused them.
it's just for the initial
It's-
vote.
That's what
Aye.
happens when I go looking for where I type. I cut myself off.
Sorry.
There is a little
Oh.
chat. There's a little chat screen option.
Yeah, more.
Right, that's fine.
Here's the chat screen. And people will be able to see.
Yeah, I have no idea where this chat screen is.
If you click on, are you using your phone?
Yes.
Just
See
click
the
on,
three
there's a
dots?
button that says more with the 3 dots. Click on that, and then it should say chat at the top of the menu, and then just press that, and then you get the chat. Can you see it?
No.
Oh,
Have you got an iPhone?
The bottom right hand corner of your screen. So if you click
mine.
your screen, like just click your screen anywhere. The options should come up down at the bottom.
Oh yeah, you need to click the screen first, and then it comes up.
Oh, right, yeah.
No.
Chat. Okay, I see it.
So
There we go. Right, okay.
Here's the chat screen.
Yeah, see, you found it.
Yeah, right.
Right.
I don't know what my options are. Did you tell me them? I missed it.
There isn't any up. We've started.
Oh, right, okay then.
Aye, proposed.
Getting ahead of myself.
So I think we'll start with Tammy, just randomly. Have you had a thought of party names? Do you have one that you'd like to suggest?
I actually don't, to be honest. I haven't even thought about it. I'm really sorry. I was quite happy with the one that had discussed the other day. So to be honest, I've not thought of anything yet.
Well, hopefully we'll hear all the proposals.
Yeah.
tonight, so and then I'm quite interested to hear them all. Okay, what about yourself, Adam?
No massive thought has gone into it. The only thing I can keep coming back to in my thinking is like something, and it'll probably be a no. And if you want to like argue against, because you've made valid points in this in the past, and it was just like Liberty Scotland, just something like that. But at the same time, obviously, there's the Scottish Libertarian Party, but Liberty may be a different enough word from Libertarian.
I think in previous conversations when it came up, I think it was a favourite, but there might have been legal issues with. There might have been legal issues with registering it.
Is that because there was a previous party called Liberty, the Liberty Party, and it was deregistered or something like that?
Yes. So it's one of those things that yes, we could choose it, but it might delay things. So
Or
it's just
something like the Caledonian Liberty Party, something like that. What do you think?
well, it's a chance for you. You know, you pick what your favourite would be, Adam, and then argue for it.
All right. Are
Yeah, no,
we
we'll
suggesting?
vote on it later.
Yeah, we vote on it later.
Are we suggesting more than one, or?
You can suggest more than one if you want,
Mhm.
but when you vote, you'll have to pick your favourite
Aye.
and put it in order preference.
I'm just trying to think. Because I was thinking like Liberty. I can't help but I decentralised Liberty. Aye.
Yeah.
Steph was pulling the fingers at me there. He's all missed it because he's no better cat.
But there was a finger up for that one. Sorry.
Aye, she just looked at me and went,
Was that against the idea or just against your general
Just against
annoying
him,
self?
probably.
Say your annoying self.
Aye, just against me.
Your annoying husband ways.
So Adam, you've picked Liberty Scotland. Let's see.
I'll go with that now, but I'll have another wee think because I've been racking my brains because it's a tough one. I think. Let's go around the table.
Right. Okay. Well, do you want to give reasonings for or anything? You know,
As I say, we are trying to go down the sort of libertarian route, aren't we? And that's my thinking behind it. And obviously, being Scottish, that's where we are at the moment. And my argument for it would be, just as much as I'd want the Scottish Libertarian Party title, it's fairer principles in that lie, I think, with that. But that's as much as I can really think at the moment because we're only aiming for Scotland. We're not going to aim anywhere else. And I think people in Scotland do have a tendency to lean towards things. And it sounds daft because I look at Labour, look at Lib Dems, they've all done it. They are the Lib Dems, Labour, Conservatives, but they went brand themselves Scottish. I mean, going down to when I lived in Doncaster, my stepdad was like, "Yeah, why do you call everything Scottish this, Scottish that?" You know, it's like, fuck off, Yorkshire tea, shut your face. You know what I mean? But he had a point because it was like we are kind of lean. So it's having that connection to people, and people will go, what another? Because there's the Scottish. Is it Scottish Family Party? Have they the family party, or is it the Scottish? It is the Scottish Family Party, isn't it? They've done it as
Yeah.
well. So that it is obviously it's a
As
branding
the
thing.
only English person in the groups, I never really feel a vibe from anything being labelled Scottish. And generally, when it comes to politics or sport or anything, I usually get made to feel like crap for being English and this whole Scottish dominance thing.
Do you?
It's all just, yeah, you do really, yeah.
Unless you
I
go
can't
to a
imagine.
Rangers game.
Well, I wouldn't do that anyway, but yeah.
But I bumped into a guy the other day who's like, I think he's Leeds. He Leeds me, but he's been in the SNP. Who's tried to convince me to join. I'm like, next joke. He never felt that way. So I don't know.
But then maybe because I don't have I don't
No.
have this
I was
ingrained
gonna
English
say that what
hatred
part of the-
vibes that a lot of people do. So
I
yeah,
was going to say maybe it depends
Buckinghamshire
where in
I'm
the country
from.
you are. I was
Buckinghamshire.
going to say maybe it's which part of Scotland you're in as well. Maybe. I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, no, South Lanarkshire.
Aye.
No, I think I think, Carly, I can see what you're saying. I think a lot of English people do feel like that here, and it can happen anywhere you go in the country, really. I can see, I totally
Also
can.
restricts you
I
in
agree
terms
with
of
what you're
world
saying.
dominance. Do you know what I mean? UK
Yeah.
dominance.
Mhm.
Because the
I'm not
UK
sure,
is a
I mean,
thing, much as Scottish
see what
people
you're
like to
saying.
pretend it isn't.
Yeah. So I see
So
what you're saying, Adam, but I'm not sure. I mean, that's your point, and like I do see what you're saying to a certain extent, but I'm not sure.
we'll obviously
if
see
it
how
will-
loads of Scottish people will love it though. So that's just
It's,
my view.
it's obviously a thing. 'Cause
Yeah.
I've heard. It's obviously a thing. I've heard it enough times. So and you're obviously saying it. So I'm not going to question if you feel unwelcome. That's terrible that is the case. But so I don't know what you think about branding and stuff. That was my reasons for, because obviously every party has pretty much done it and lent that way. So and then
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
true,
know.
If I can
because
help-
you've got Scottish Labour, Scottish Conservatives, Scottish Lib Dems and all that. Yeah, no, I see what you're saying, yeah.
If I
It's
can
just,
just
yeah,
help.
it's just a way to indicate that we're a Scottish party. I don't think it's too big a deal, actually. It's fine.
Are we? Is that what we're going for though? Are we going for a proper Scottish party, or are we going for just a party that could
It's-
evolve into a British party, or a
Aye.
Scottish, or Northern Irish, or Welsh, etc.?
Well,
I
it's,
think keeping it local to start with, but if we do lean that way, then it's food for thought. It's a good point. Like,
it's actually easier just to register as a UK party, and then you can branch off and register a separate Scottish one and stuff like that.
Is
such
that's
as
what
Labour
you-
have done.
That's what you tend to get with the Tories. You know, the Tories are down south, but you've got the Scottish Tories, as what we were talking about. We've got the Scottish Labour. They're branches of the actual parties down south.
Aye. So with that in
Mhm.
mind, that maybe not having, that's a good point.
And during elections, you don't need Scottish as part of your party name. So, for
No,
example,
it's purely just a
Liberty-
branding.
Yeah,
aye,
you
the
don't need
Liberty
Scottish
Party-
as part of your name, but you can still put it before your name. So, for example, the Tories in Scotland are the Scottish Tories, or the Scottish Tory Party. We could be called the Scottish Liberty Party, but actually just be called the Liberty Party in name.
I think it's
Even on that
important
point,
to realise that there's a lot of people in Scotland who aren't actually Scottish, and it would be nice, to include, not to feel like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
absolutely. I
appreciate
mean,
that.
When the whole-
I don't think it's too. I don't think
It's not
too
a big deal.
important, to
I'm
be
not.
honest.
These are just my views because we're having the conversation. I'm not,
Yeah.
overtly.
As
No,
a
I
Northern
agree.
Irish,
I agree with you, Carly. I agree with what you're saying. I don't think it's a big deal to include Scottish in the name either. But again, that's just my opinion.
yeah, as a Northern Irish minority in this chat, I'm with you, Carly. But
Yeah, I am sympathetic to just, going with the UK version of the name for the
That's fine.
legal
I'm trying-
registration, and then it can be a discussion for those who are actually running for election in the future to decide whether they put Scottish on the Scottish ballot papers or not. That's an entirely different discussion at a later date, without needing to register it as a name from the get.
I like Steph's. Like what she's put there in the chat. I like what she's saying.
let's talk about removing the government from all choices. So a party name that suggested of liberation from government would draw quite a bit of attention to our hopes of freedom. Yeah,
Is
agreed.
Yeah.
that for your decentralised?
Mhm.
Or decentralised Liberty? I thought that's a party. So, so going with the decentralised name. It's been brought up before that.
What are other words for decentralised?
Devolved.
Google is your friend.
Mhm.
Devolved springs to mind, but again, that's still devolution is it's kind of like the power still held centrally. It's just lent back.
It's that's a good point. Yeah.
I'm not sure that we need to have the type of party we are involved in the name, you know, like we can certainly have a name that implies like liberty, but we can certainly explain what our agenda is as part of our policy, like, you know, to make sure people are aware of that.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Kieran or Carly, do you have any?
I'll let the lady go first.
Well, in the 20 minutes I had to think about it, you know, I did shoot you one out and then you told me no, but I quite
I
fancied it.
didn't say no at all. I asked questions.
Well, let's hear. I want to hear it.
What was
Yeah.
it? Latitudinarianism. Yeah, latitudinarian. That was it. Because I was looking for a word that meant free thinking, because I keep being told, you know, that the whole point of this is that it's about the freedom of the individual and their choice and to be heard and not just, you know, to keep hitting brick walls. So I quite liked that. And I think although originally it was perhaps dominantly religious, it's moving away from that, and your use of it could further progress the moving away from the originally religious aspect of it more so.
I like that
I-
idea.
Latitudinarian.
That's the spelling in the chat group. As long as Carly
I like it. I'm just wondering if it's maybe a mouthful for people, but it's good. I like it.
Libertarian's a mouthful. It was always a
It is.
challenge, you know. It is one of the hurdles, but again, it's, you know, right now
We
we're
could call
brainstorming.
ourselves the non-authoritarian Libertarian Party, because the Scottish Libertarian Party are the authoritarian Libertarian Party. It's like the people's what is it? People's Judean Front and the People's Front
Oh.
of Judea.
I had a meeting on Wednesday night and with the party leader,
How did that
and that
go?
was it was a shit show, absolute shit show.
Really?
Have you ever had indigestion, right? And you feel your stomach building and building and building and building, and then you have to go to the toilet and then you just let it all go. That's what I done on him in that meeting. Just everything just got let go, and he wasn't best
Alright.
pleased.
Is there
He
a
wasn't best
recording of
pleased.
that? Can we see it?
Unfortunately, not. I didn't record it. I
did he
forgot
say?
to, but
What did he say?
I let go. I proper let go. The handbrake was off.
Oh.
Downhill you went.
Yeah. It wasn't good at all. He got very angry. He got very pissed off. But,
Never.
yeah, never. He's probably one of the most composed people we've ever come across. Not, but he wasn't very happy at all.
What were you telling him? Sorry, I need to go for my dinner.
I basically told him that the ideas that some members have put across in the party prior to the lead up to the elections were fantastic, and they weren't used and they were ignored. I told them that in the next 5 years I could see the party being no more. I told them that I haven't seen anything from a leadership perspective in regards to drive and ambition for the next few years and for the future of the party. I told him I was bitterly disappointed with him about him lying to me about the financial state of the party. I went full throttle, and then he kind of accused me of hearing one side of the story from Stephen. And I said to him, wait a minute, I've just told you that these aren't anything to do with Stephen. This is how I feel. He
Mhm.
didn't like that either because it meant he couldn't go on a rant about Stephen. So
Stephen
Yeah.
Man bad.
yeah,
Oh, superb.
he
Brilliant.
really didn't like that because every time he kept going on a rant about you, I kept interrupting him and I kept saying, look, this isn't about Stephen, this is about you, this is about the party, this is about the leadership of the party, and this is about the stagnation of the party. This is about libertarianism within Scotland not being progressed through this party. It's
Yeah,
about
but
the
in
party.
his paranoid mind, he'll be thinking that Stephen's told you to say that.
Yeah.
That's the way he thinks.
That's what he said.
Aye.
He actually
'Cause
said,
he's
I think
surrounded.
you've only
He's-
heard.
He's
That's what he
surrounded by
actually said.
people.
Yeah,
He's
because
surrounded by
he
people that
actually,
need things fed to them. All the people that surrounded him, he needs to either feed them or someone needs to feed them information. Therefore, in his mind,
Yeah.
it sounds like that Stephen has to feed you stuff. It's like, no, you're a free thinking, like sensible, grown up, mature thinking man. You make your own mind up.
absolutely, because that's what he said. He said, Kieran, I think with all due respect, you've heard one side of the story. And I said to him, this isn't about me listening to anyone else. This is about my feelings and how I feel about the party. This is how I feel about how the party is doing, what the future prospects look like with your leadership and with the leadership that are currently in place at the moment. And I told them, you've got until the AGM in September. And if you don't show me progress or nothing is really showing that the party is actually going to make proper progress and proper advancements in regards to at least challenging the status quo, then I am gone. I'm gone after September. So I
Yeah,
took the handbrake off.
they know they're fucked without a lot of Stephen's input. That's the problem. They're
Yeah.
panicking about that as well.
Definitely.
As well.
Trust me.
Even
Stupid
Kieran
bastard.
yourself, it's
Fucking
you do a
idiot.
shit ton. You do an absolute shit ton.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, the handbrake came off, and I unloaded an awful lot of frustration and an awful lot of just a lot of frustration. Actually, is probably the best word that was built up. Just got unloaded on him on Wednesday night, and he wasn't best pleased at all. And then he came off the call saying, "I don't want to end in sour terms with you. I don't want us falling out over this." And I said to him, "Look, I've not said that I'm falling out with you per se, as a person. I'm just telling you that I'm just not happy with the way things are going in the party, and that includes
Aye,
you.
it's to do with the party. Aye,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's not
Exactly,
personal.
but he sees it as a personal attack, you know. And
That's it.
it's
that's
his
it.
way of
That's
warning you
a
that
sign of a bad
you
leader.
fall out about this.
And that's
A
what I
poor
said
leader.
to him. That's what I said to him. I never said poor leader. That would have been personal. But I did say to him, look, he said, he's like, I don't want to fall out about this. And I said, mate, nowhere have I said I want to fall out with you over this. It's just, this is my feedback to the party. This is where the party could do better. And that is all areas. And if
Yeah.
we don't start doing something and we don't start pulling the finger out and we don't start recruiting new members and we don't start actually challenging the status quo in this country, libertarianism will be no more and the party will be no more.
Who else was there? Who else was on the call?
Just me and him.
Oh, right, fair enough.
But we're digressing a bit anyway. So,
Aye,
Sorry,
aye.
I'm like, oh, tell me more.
right, who's still? Kieran, what was?
I kind of need to go at 9. I'm just putting that out there.
Late
Aye,
one.
sorry, that's
Yeah. No worries.
Kieran, let's hear from you then.
The two that I have that I've narrowed it down to is Cascade, which I mentioned to you earlier in one of the other meetings. Cascade is like a process whereby something, typically information or knowledge, is successfully passed on. So that's what I was thinking, like with the logo that we were discussing, the Christ, I can never remember the name of it. What'd you call it?
Centrifugal clutch.
Yeah, that the centrifugal clutch. It's always pushing out the way. And when you're pushing it out the way, it's cascading. That's the information and that's the success of the party cascading onto the general public, into the economy, into the country overall. So that was my first thought. And my second one is prosperity. Prosperity is like the state of being prosperous, a long period of
I
peace
like
and
that.
prosperity, of being successful and thriving, basically.
I really like that. That's a good one.
Could be something like prosperity for liberty, or liberty for prosperity, or wrong way around.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good one.
So yeah, there are my two
Prosperity.
ideas.
The other one I liked was having something that kind of, I needed more time to Google words, yeah. But something, I like something that revolves around the word, you know, receptive, being receptive, because that is the problem. Nobody is receptive, nobody listens, nobody, do you know what I mean? This is really is the problem. Nobody gives a shit. Yeah. So that was my other thought, although I might need time to find a better word, but something along the lines of that means receptive, that we're actually listening, that we actually care, do you know?
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
I
think
like that.
I was just checking that. I think prosperity is okay to use. I don't see any UK parties. I'm just trying to get.
Prosperity or prospect.
Mm,
You reckon for prospect?
prospect for liberty, or liberty for prospect. No,
Libertarian prospect? Nah,
yeah, something like that.
the Libertarian Prospect Party.
I'm not sure if we need to have the word liberty in the name. Oh,
It's
sorry,
just
I've,
me,
I've already had
it's just
my,
me.
I've already
No,
had my
no,
tongue
you're
just
right.
on me.
I think you're very, you've got as much a say as anybody else. There's nothing wrong with it. I think I don't know why I keep drawing back to it. I do know why, but you think you're right in that we don't necessarily need to have it. So
Well, I mean, it's just I've always been a bit anxious of the fact. I mean, maybe this is just me being a bit negative or something like that. I mean, many people may disagree, but even with the name the Scottish Libertarian Party, and I mean, of course, it's great that that's shown. Obviously, they're libertarians, but I'm not always convinced that you necessarily need to be like have that in the name. As long as because maybe some people might see the word libertarian and just think, oh, because you know how you know how people just think libertarians are crazy and want to privatize everything and all that because of which obviously we do. But you know what I mean? I just don't always think like it needs to be directly obvious just to
I
get
love how you,
votes
I
and
love how you
stuff
get
like
accused.
that.
I love how we're accused of being like
Aye.
right wingers and stuff as well. It's like fuck off.
Aye, exactly. And I think there's different ways we could get our policies across that doesn't make it look like, oh, you're mad, you're more right wing than the Tories and that. There's ways about doing things that could actually get votes and trust from people, because you know what the
Aye.
media are like, they see the word libertarian and they'll go and look up all sorts of stuff. But I mean, I suppose that doesn't really matter, but that's just some of the thoughts I've had over the years with the SLP.
I did with a boy the other day, and he was like, "Aye, well, how are we gonna?" I was like, "Why do you like daddy government so much?" And he was like, "Aye, well, well, how are you gonna pay for things?" It's like, well, apparently you like fucking having your arse wiped by you. Like, oh, you're racist, and I was like, "Fuck off, dick."
Oh, it's always that you're a racist. I know, it's
I
mad.
like what Steph just said.
Yeah.
Honest to God, sorry, I just fucking let off on him.
No, you're all right. I thought I was about to say you're all right. I think you mean in a fart.
No, I fucking might as well. I fucking farted in his direction because he wasn't listening to fuck all.
Yeah, sorry. I know that's it. Like something like Steph said, just something quite catchy like that. I mean, I really like prosperity, to be honest. I really like something like that because it does imply that we want a more prosperous economy, and improve people's lives and stuff like that. I think that was really
Kind of
good.
gives me apprentice vibes, you
Oh,
know,
sorry?
kind of gives me apprentice vibes, like I've gone on The Apprentice and they've
What
said,
do you mean What do you mean prosperity?
yeah,
Team name.
Yeah, it's just I just like the word, just the kind of connotations around it and stuff like that. It's just I think something like that would be good. Doesn't necessarily need
Positive.
to be that word, but
Sorry,
anyway.
I'm sending messages, but I'm just numbering them. So sorry,
That's fine. So is everybody kind of Stephen? Have you got any suggestions?
Choice,
Yeah,
I think.
sorry, I was kind of distracted there. I was just
You were wanting choice, weren't you?
Yeah, I
I-
like that.
yeah,
I'm just trying to list them here. Didn't anybody type them out? 'Cause I'm just
Free-
taking them with numbers.
Freedom to choose. Freedom to choose. I'm going to put that forward. Freedom to choose. Something like that.
The reason for choice was, well, a few different things. It's simplistic, single decibel sort of sounding name, and is easy to recognise, understand, easy to pronounce. Isn't kind of, it doesn't have boundaries and stuff like that. It's a word that represents, you know, freedom to choose this, that, the next thing. It can reach out to religious voters, you know, because it's referred to repeatedly in different scriptures and stuff like that. You know, in the house of the wise there is choice, you know, and the script goes on. So it was just something nice and simple. It was quite near the top of the ballot paper when searching through, and it's got a kind of positive and welcoming name rather than something that's a bit more difficult to pronounce, or maybe it's sometimes with some of the names that we come across, it's too obvious to the point where the party almost stands for one thing alone with the name, rather than just being a party with more than one policy. Sort of thing.
And I've numbered them.
So that, you know, I like the decentralized party, you know, name, but again, it sounds, although we're just discussing names, straight away in my head, it sounds as though, right, okay, that party just wants decentralization. There's no other policies, even if there is sort of thing, you know. So
do you think
like
choice may be construed? The only thing that I have in my head with choice is, you think it could be construed as a viewpoint on abortion, possibly?
Well, I think it's one of those things, even if it is.
I don't know, there is a lot of that going on right now, so I think that might automatically click with a lot of people, but it wasn't my first thought.
Yeah. I can see where you're coming from, Kieran. I think also from a libertarian point of view, it was one of those subjects that was so fiercely divided down the middle. You know, there's the argument between the right, you know, the women's right versus the child's rights, for, you know, bodily autonomy and stuff like that, that it splits libertarians right down the middle. So again,
understandably mentally.
Yeah. So even if it did, you know, someone comes across the name and it goes automatic, oh, is that about abortion? And it's like, well, not really, but
yeah, it's true.
You know,
no, I'm
again,
thinking.
you know,
I was just trying to think. I don't know what side of the fence I lie on with that.
Exactly, it's strange, right?
I'm a man, so I'm like, it's not my fucking body. You know
I
what I
know.
mean?
Now, I've for years, I was pro-choice, but I didn't want to choose abortion myself. I was personally against it. And then having had all these debates and arguments with libertarians over the years, it's pretty much been a case of, look, we're never going to reach a general consensus that everyone's going to agree on something. But at the end of the day, should the government be involved in it? You know, so yeah, against abortions, don't get an abortion.
Because it's healthcare and they're in control of healthcare, and you know, somebody has to provide you with this abortion. And
right, Kira.
Whereas if the government wasn't involved, then, you know, yeah, someone would have to provide the abortion, but you know, that would be consenting.
I mean, technically, I suppose it is, you know, a life. I mean, obviously, I'm not into abortion because I've got 5 kids, but if anyone else wants to do it, that's their choice.
Just
good
5.
effort. Good effort, that woman.
Yeah. Aye. Steph's trying to tell me her and Carly are the same.
Aye, good effort to do.
Yeah.
I think the thing that would resolve the whole situation is if the women had a choice um, to transfer the fetus from their body into maybe even a defibrillator or something that's going to help the baby grow independently from the body.
I think for a start, you know, if you're going to make all these women have the babies, you've then got to consider how they're going to pay for the babies. And, you know, men just get to walk away, don't they? And
Yeah,
technically,
that's
if you
true.
can't live
Yeah,
outside you, it can't really live anyway, can it? That's my opinion.
Exactly.
So,
That's what I think.
Which is where all the arguments from the other side come in, saying, "Oh, you should have thought about that before you had the act, etc."
well, to be fair, do you
Yeah,
know,
that's
only
bad.
3 of my children
Well,
were
if you were
found,
raped,
you know,
That's an interesting debate for
only
another day. I think about
99%
actually.
effective
Yeah,
for a reason.
definitely.
That's 1 in every 100
Yeah.
that isn't.
Look what I've
Um,
started.
I know.
That's an interesting chat for another day, but I think it's a debate that we should definitely have, or at least a discussion we should definitely have, because I think Carly makes a valid point about like the men, a lot of men just walking away, and I think like men have responsibility as well if that's what they're trying to do. So
It's very, very
Yeah,
true.
it's a debate for another day, but you know, choice as a party name, I just think is welcoming and opening, you know, and people,
well, I liked it.
you know, look first and then ask questions later rather than just making assumptions about what, you know. But anyway,
any
I
other
think,
names? 'Cause I've numbered them in the side in the chat.
okay, so it's time's getting on. The best way to do it, we'll have the first round where we each quickly write down. You don't have to write down everything. If you just disagree with a name, leave it blank.
Well, look what I've done. That's what I was trying to explain to you. Look in the chat and how I've numbered all of them. If anybody wants to add any more, do it now. Put a number next to it and making sure it's like if or say it now and I'll put it in, and then we can have. We've got seven so far. We've got 7 so far. So
Well, if you put Steph's in,
Well,
that makes
that is-
sorry, what was Steph? Sorry, Steph.
Free
What
life?
was-
Steph's was number 2.
Free.
Oh, all right, aye. Right, free life.
Sorry, say that again. Sorry.
Free life.
Free life.
I'm going to put one forward. Mine was freedom of choice. That's my suggestion, and I like choice as well.
Well,
Freedom of
we'll
life.
be able to vote in a minute.
Freedom of choice was mine.
Sorry, Steph's, and then freedom of choice. So freedom of life was
Oh,
Steph. Was
right,
it?
right.
No, free life.
Free life.
Free life. So
Uh,
just right. Sorry,
It's just the message above your number 1, Liberty Scotland.
That's it, right. What did I do? Ah, right. Actually, I read the whole sentence. Sorry, my mistake. How many have we got so far? So it'll be 8. And 9. Sorry, what was the last one, Tanya?
Freedom of choice. That was mine.
Oh shit! Fucking idiot! Sausage fingers.
That's all right. Just type it in again.
Right, so we're just putting down the number
Mhm.
in order of what our preference is then. Is that what you're suggesting, Adam?
It was
That's what I just the
picking
numbers
our
just
top-
so it's
It was
easier.
just picking our top 3 or
Sorry.
top or
No, you can.
Sorry.
You can pick them all, just list them in order of preference, or you can pick 1, or you can pick 3, you know, but just as long as it's in order of preference.
would it not just make sense if everybody just picks the top 3?
Mhm.
Steph's suggestions made me think of that song. We live in that. Was it? We live in a free world. And we slow down the wind. Yeah.
Right. Steph is in agreement with Tammy there.
Top 3.
I don't know. Top
We're doing a
3,
top 3 are we?
5, I don't know.
Top 5. Top 3, 5,
Top
4. 4.5.
It's just an
Any more
easier way to whittle it down, Stephen. It saves time as well.
How many? Sorry.
I was thinking the top 3 or 4. What do you think, Stephen?
Well, top four will be fine. I think it's really just
Top four.
Yeah,
the least popular gets eliminated and whatnot, and then
yeah, but
until
you'll
we
still
have
be able to
one
work
that
that out
gets-
from everybody's.
Well, what
Yeah,
you do is if you do it like in a point system, so you get 2 points for one and 3 points. Yeah, well, 4 points for one and 3 point, then you could do it that way instead of revoting.
yeah,
well,
Yeah.
it's just the number of votes.
yeah. You just how many times it's been. Well, I mean, if we do like top three, how would you figure out like which one out of the top?
Well, it's
How would you do that?
I was going to use a single transferable vote system.
Well,
Yeah.
all right. What's that? If see whatever you've got in mind, like tell us what it is, and we'll just do that because you know what you're doing. So
Just list in order. You know, if you only want to pick three, that's fine.
Okay.
right, okay, we'll
And
just do that
then
then.
the ones will just work from the bottom up, the least popular. Until
Sorry,
we
am I
get-
being a dick?
No.
No, not at all.
No, no.
Right.
Or even just elimination, you know, so go with the top three, Tammy, right? Everybody
Okay.
picks three.
Top
Anything
three.
not picked
Something
is
like
automatic eliminated. And then we'll do another
Yeah.
round of voting.
that. Right, can we just put the
Okay.
numbers in there? Aye, there you go.
Shit. One.
Oh, what was done? I'm gonna have to go soon. And 4 of you. Are you just gonna tally up everything
Just-
after this?
just
Just
look-
because I'm gonna have to shoot.
Just looking for a pen.
Tyler, are you still there?
Well, I'm still thinking about it. Yeah, takes me a long
Alright,
time to
just
think of these things. I did tell him that I only wanted to join if you called it the librarians, and I'm not really that bothered, if I'm honest.
That's brilliant.
Fair
We'll have to wear like
enough.
glasses,
Librarian.
cardigans.
That's funny.
Should call it the
What?
Ned Flanders party and then just all dressed like Ned Flanders.
We should call it BAMS.
Bands.
Scottish young
Bunch of
team.
BAMS.
Turn up at
Have you
question
done
time and be
this,
like,
Steph?
all right, mate, we're the young team.
Fucking tax, man.
We would
Fuck
get
your
so
tax.
many votes. Oh my god. Imagine
I
all the
know.
votes we would get.
Just call us the estate party or the scheme. Call us the scheme.
That's brilliant.
Oh, fucking going to the scheme, man. For a little bucky party.
Bottle of bucky on the desk.
We just
Wow.
over Glasgow.
We could be
You're next
called the
to,
Bucky Party. The Bucky
you're-
Party.
You're next to the
Uh-huh.
posh politicians right next to you. You're offering Nicola Sturgeon. What are we smashing my bucky, mate?
Fucking Ali G.
What are we smack?
Right, is everybody picked?
Yeah. Yeah, I
Cool.
think so. I think Stephen's just tallying it up just now.
Do you want to tally that up and then I'm alright?
I was trying to, but Steph's taking it off me.
Although if we're offering any politicians a drink, we better not offer Hamza Yusuf one. You get deemed racist
What do you
Get hate
Based on his
religion.
Oh, right, aye, you're racist because you offer them Bucky.
Too complicated.
Right, I'm alright to shoot because I've got my dinner with my son. So
If you need to go, you need to go.
alright, right, I'll catch you later, folks. But
All right,
Yeah,
Adam.
and Adam
Nice
needs
seeing
to
you, fella.
go.
cheers,
Right,
folks.
so is it?
Right,
I'll look for the results in the
If he
chat.
can
Cheers.
find his way out. Bye.
See you,
Bye.
mate.
You're not waiting for the second round of voting, Adam.
Was away
No,
now.
he
Why did you
doesn't
not
say
say
that.
that earlier? He was trying to tell you he was leaving.
Right, I don't know what Steph's done.
Ta-
Right.
Oh,
It was an
And
order, it was order of preference. Right,
Yeah, it was. I voted in order of my preference. Yeah, like 1, 2, 3.
right, so
No, he needed to go, Stephen, because he's got dinner with his wee boy.
I know, I know.
I've got to go and all. I've got somewhere to be.
I know you said that,
I
babe.
know
I
you might
know.
find that hard to believe, Stephen, but
Nah.
no, because I never normally go anywhere.
Right,
So
okay.
All right. But you've got 5 kids, so you need to get out and enjoy yourself.
it's true. Occasionally.
Definitely.
So, after the first round,
Drum roll.
decentralized had 1 first preference, prosperity had 2 first preferences, choice had 1 first preference, and prospect had 2 first preferences. Right. So that eliminates Liberty. That had, whatever that one was, number 3.
Exactly. Yeah.
Cascade didn't get any first preferences.
Kind of sad that we're eliminating that one actually, because Stephen takes a heart attack looking at it.
Latitudinarian.
Right, eliminating free life
See
and
it? Yeah.
eliminating freedom of choice.
We should just keep number 9, make it Fredo.
Right, so second preferences. That's 4, that's eliminated. 1's eliminated. 1's eliminated. 2 gets a second tally. 6.
I told you what's easier, yeah, is see if you gave points, right? So do you know what I mean? So if you gave,
That's
if it's top 3 choices, and you gave the first one 3 points and the second one 2 points and the next one 1 point, and just add up all the points. Does that make sense?
aye.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah. It makes sense to me as well, but
Right. It probably works out the exact same. It's just not a point.
You just want to do it the long way round, okay?
He's a
Uh,
man.
I know.
there's no point arguing with him, Carly.
Right, well, after the second round, decentralized has 2 points. Prosperity has 2 points. Choice has 2 points, and prospect has 2 points. So there's no eliminations. Go with third preferences now. Be a
What's left then?
4's
Have we
on
got to do it again?
6. No, I'm just
I think
through the preferences just now. 5, 4, 6 is eliminated.
Anticipation's killing me here, mate.
3's
Well, this is
Like
worse than the
lives.
bit in Love Island, and then they're like, now you have to wait until tomorrow night. Do you know?
Oh my God, Love Island. Oof.
Oh,
Painful.
I know. Yeah, my teenagers introduced me to it, and now I'm just like the biggest fan because I get to watch them, and it makes me feel better about my life. You know.
Right, so after the third round,
Hmm.
decentralized have 2, prosperity has 3, choice has 3, and what's that? Prospect is 2. So 2 in last place. I think too few votes to actually. We should have done more than 3 preferences.
Sorry, I said 4.
I know. Right.
I just thought it would save time, I guess, but I don't
Okay.
really know what I was doing, to be honest.
Fresh bit of paper. Try it Carly's way.
Yeah, I've fucked up. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Stephen, it's fine.
It's Stephen calculating it.
It's all Stephen's fault.
I'm only
Oh.
going by the votes. Okay.
Stephen, it's all your fault.
Well, we've basically ended up with a tie.
Between
Well, we could
5 and
resolve
6.
that tonight or at another meeting. Doesn't need to. Oh, mind you, I know you want to register as on Monday, though.
Well, if it has to be delayed, it has to be delayed.
I can tell you, with all honesty, I
Mhm.
don't really care because I don't love any of them to death. So you can do what you like. Can I go now?
Yeah. Well, what we'll do then is, what do you want to do? Do you want to go with the top 4, top 3, or top 2? Well, we can't go top 3. It's either top 4 or top 2 for a final vote, maybe tomorrow night.
Top 2.
Yeah,
Up
we'll do
to,
it
yeah,
that way then.
Makes sense.
Right. Well,
Tomorrow I'm free all day and night.
Okay.
right. Well, the top 2 is between prosperity and choice.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
they're my 2 favourites, so I'm quite
I
happy with
hate them
that.
both. Do what you
That's,
like.
that's basically what it's
You
saying.
hate them? What? Oh, do you hate them? Oh. That's not so good.
Right, okay, right. Well, we can end this with no final decision, and we can chat about it through the day tomorrow in the group chat if you want to.
I'll pay attention, yeah.
Right, okay.
I'll start
Yeah,
reading it,
you-
okay.
Are you okay, Stephen? Are you stressed?
I'm absolutely shattered. It's been a long day.
It's your
and it's-
bedtime.
I'm trying to ask my brain to work.
Mhm.
But
That doesn't happen even in the best days.
I know.
Oh.
I'm going now. Or I'll be late.
Okay.
See you,
Okay,
Carly.
Thank you, Carly.
Hi, Carly.
Okay.
Right, we'll just do it tomorrow then.
Yeah. Well, we can argue between tonight and tomorrow through the group chat over the last 2, and then come up with a decision tomorrow. And tomorrow night's meeting, just 8 o'clock, fine, everyone again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might be a couple of minutes late myself, but don't worry about that. And I think tomorrow night's meeting, deciding who the 3 people were that were going to be the registered, the public faces, leader, treasurer, nominating officer. They're the 3 legal requirement that we need. I know technically we need 2 people, but I'd rather put 3 down.
Not a problem.
So, you know,
Well, can 2 people do one? Can one person do 2 things? Right.
aye.
Okay, well, I'm going to go now. Is that all right? And I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.
See you,
right,
Tommy.
Okay.
Bye. I'll give you a text, Steph. Right. Bye. Love you. See you tomorrow.
She's
See you.
Bye.
in the toilet, but I'll let her know. Okay.
All
Cheers.
right.
Right.
Nice seeing you.
Yeah.
You
Thanks.
too. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Good work, Keelan. Good work. I'll just stop the recording now because that's the meeting over.